focus. Click the links for Odysee, BitChute, join the Discord, and all the other links. If you're young today, oh my God, you got screwed. Times were better in the past. Yes, everyone's always been saying that. But you're in for some really hard times if you're young today. I can't imagine what going through college is got to be like for anyone under a certain age, and what the future holds for you. It's like, oh great, I'm born just in time to fight a civil war because my grandparents were too freaking lazy to stop this while they could have. But how will this help us sell more burgers? We're selling sodomy and degeneracy. Okay, so false flags, Facebook, and the whistleblower. Dun dun, or is it a whistleblower? First of all, Facebook is spying on you, which is not news because, I mean, so is Google. Any piece of data that your phone can deal with, assume it's going to go to Google, Berg, and to the puppet masters in the government. All right, this next part doesn't sound related, but it actually is. Homeboys in Chicago delete 1 or 2 people a day, and there are carjackings literally daily, but the FBI is spying on people who support the J6 crowd. That is their priority. Daily deletions in Chicago, but they absolutely ignore it. BLM does not matter to them. They would rather go after like school board parents who are upset about CRT and other issues. Anyway, so what's going to happen in the near future for social media and the internet in general is you're going to need a digital ID to get online, and it will be tied to your social credit score, part of which will be tied into your, how do I say this next part carefully, your health status, if you know what I mean. Dave Cullen and others have been saying this for a while, and it doesn't take a soothsayer to go down the path of people who want to censor you and take away liberty are going to continue to do such things until they're stopped. If you want another little prediction, they're going to push a false flag where a, let's say, fair-skinned group does a malum in se act, and they decide that as an emergency order, they will bypass the Second Amendment. It won't be legal, but neither are any of the restrictions in the past 200 years. You're not going to fight tyranny with a 10-round magazine. No, the Second Amendment's not for hunting. It's not for self-defense. It's for killing tyrants. They absolutely will take the liberty devices. Come on, man, you're not going to fight drones. Talk to the Taliban. It may have taken 20 years, but that's just a blink. Or laughs in Vietnamese. Because they have to take the liberty devices first to do what they're going to do later on, and the only way to stop them is with militias. Militias take time. You don't have time to form them after they start taking the hardware, which is why Biden is probably going to start doing this very quickly, because people actually are starting to wake up. Things are accelerating faster than anyone could have predicted, I think. I mean, I'm sure there are people in the dark corners of the internet who are like, dude, we've been saying this for 20 friggin' years. They're just going to red flag anyone with a bad social credit score. No travel, no liberty devices, no banking, no shopping. They'll unperson you. If they want to, they'll just put you into a re-education camp, like they're literally doing in Australia. 1/3 of your neighbors would turn you in, and the other 2/3 are probably just too apathetic with the bread and circuses. Biden is I gotta watch the NFL. I thought you guys were boycotting the NFL. Oh, I want my bread and circuses and my video games, my fast food. Yeah. Oh God, no. McDonald's has a warning on their packages about how we're all in this current health crisis together on a bag of McDonald's food. Biden is accelerating things faster than most people imagine. Garland has the FBI going after parents at school board meetings because they're anti-CRT. My point before I get too far into this is that, no, this is not a whistleblower in the sense that if a whistleblower came out in the 70s or 80s, they would be getting some inside information. This is most likely pre-approved op going on, which sounds like a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, and still you start looking around for the past 20 years and realize, oh, that whole deep state concept, oh, that's absolutely real. Anyway, so Antifa and BLM got ignored for 2 years, but Garland is teaming up with the Department of Justice, the FBI, to go after parents. That's crazier than most people imagine. Gee, what happened to the Supreme Court and the chilling effect on free speech? That went out the window. There are left-wing Twitter folks who absolutely support this. They say the parents threatened people, the FBI should go after them. Except they haven't. There have been some rowdy school board meetings, but if they threatened anyone, it would be all over social media. Everyone in the room's got a cell phone to record it. If anyone made threats, they'd simply call the police and have them deal with it on an individual basis. The point of calling the Department of Justice in is to have a chilling effect on free speech, to silence parents who are not fans of, one, paying taxes that go to schools, and two, having the schools being controlled by literal Bolsheviks who are teaching CRT, which is the left was the racists the whole time. Yeah, no shit, where have you been? Merrick Garland is trying to intimidate the parents into silence by use of the FBI. The issue the parents are at odds with is that CRT and the current health issues going on in America as a prerequisite for school. Let me be clear. No protests or petitions or voting is going to stop the schools from being anti-white. They have taken off the mask. It's Soros, Rothschild, Garfinkel. Anti-white schools is the future of America and the school system. If your kids are in public schools, they will be brainwashed into that belief system, that new religion. Private schools or small neighborhood schools are the only way to teach your kids to love themselves, learn the classics, a little Latin, Greek, and a pro-European nationalist version of history. Hey kids, we're going to read a little... well, never mind. The thing is, you should know all sides of an argument. Schools have been run by literal Marxists for like 80 years. There is no unbiased anything. You may as well teach the kids how awesome they are, how awesome their ancestors were, because every other group is teaching their people that. It's just kind of a game theory thing, where if you don't advocate for and advance your tribe's own interests, you will lose compared to groups that do. You gotta teach the kids the evil of Bolshevism, the history of Marxism, and other evil people and concepts to prevent it from happening again. I mean, it's a little bit too late because it's already happening. You gotta teach them the history of communism and who is pushing it today, so they know who to watch out for and who to fight back against. The kids have to learn what evil is. It's cool parents are seeking redress of grievance. It encourages other people to hold schools accountable, but it has zero chance of success. If your kids are in schools in Weimar America, they'll be brainwashed into this anti-white cult. Biden and his crew have taken off the masks. Berg at Facebook is on the Bolsheviks' side. He is their guy. But even people on the same side have different ideas on how to prosecute the battle. Do we send in the orcs or the dragons first? Facebook isn't a free speech guy, not even close. He is a gather your data and give it to Biden and Soros Rothschild's guy. You're on Facebook even if you're not on Facebook. You have a ghost profile. You can look into that. Whatever happens with the whistleblower, the media and Facebook are basically the same guy. I mean, they're on the same page. They're pushing the same narrative. They're not really going to go against each other. That's why the idea of a whistleblower is so freaking laughable. Anyone who's in this game on our side looks at it and goes, yeah, there's no whistleblower. If there was a whistleblower, CNN wouldn't be interviewing it. Anything CNN behind is almost fake and lighthearted and frivolous, or it's some sort of op. Whatever happens with whistleblower, the media and Facebook, they're the same team. There's not going to be any insider information coming out. When a reporter gets a story that puts a little shade on Facebook, their editors and someone in management looks at the story, not so much to test its truth and the sources, but to see if the story fits the overall globalist narrative. If you think a media company gets a story and after determining its veracity goes forward with it, you're crazy. There's not a chance of that happening, not in the past 30 years. Imagine for a second a bombshell story came out against one of their protected guys. Schumer, Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Kamala, or Biden, or even another media company, heaven forbid. You ever wonder why CNN doesn't report on people in MSNBC? I mean, because it would be nonstop. Something that would make Biden step down. Do you think the media would cover it? Well, they ignored the laptop, so there's your answer. My point with Facebook is that it's almost certainly not going to hurt the narrative, otherwise it wouldn't be in the media. Think about how the media and social media companies, how big they are. There should be leaks and whistleblowers every year, but who's going to publish the story when they control the media? Project Veritas has been kicked off Twitter. A group that focuses on exposing corruption has been kicked off. And Facebook and Instagram won't allow some of their videos if they go against the media's narrative. If the media is interviewing this girl, it's almost certainly fake. Either that, I mean, she's some useful idiot, even if she's not an idiot. It's like, I call useful idiots, they're just very naive as to what's going on. It's not an, it's either an op from start to finish, or the best you could say is that something is going on. We don't have the full picture yet, but your leg is getting wet, and you're very certain it's not raining. 100% of the media now is only going to tell you the propaganda narrative, not the news. The news is on alt media, Gab, and Telegram. And the thing is, even just because they're right of center, some of them are, I don't know, third position libertarian, something else. Always ask for receipts. Like, just because they're your guys, it's like, well, we still need facts and evidence, scientific method or the legal analysis, the issue, rule, analysis, conclusion. Always ask for receipts, right or left. Anything the media is pushing, as a rule of thumb, is Quran 434, is going to be a lie. That should be the default position. Is like, okay, they're lying to me, probably. I just don't know exactly how they're lying to me. Most everything in the mainstream is a lie. Eventually, they're going to make you register to use the internet. That's absolutely going to happen. The Chinese social credit system, guaranteed, 100%, it's coming. They want to be able to unperson you and then arrest you. Yes, it's all happening. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Catch me on alternative platforms and links. Support channel if you can. Otherwise, I will see you on. If you need to get a hold of me, use Discord.